The full-size Midori Traveler's Notebook, an extremely popular and well-loved notebook system which enables individual users to pick from a wide variety of inserts to customize the notebook to their own personal preference. In addition to being versatile, the full-size Midori Traveler's Notebook is also quite portable. Going out and about with your satchel? Bring along your textbook, your notebook, a little light reading. Don't forget your pipe bag. Or your pipe tobacco. And hey, there's plenty of room for your full-size Midori as well. But sometimes you don't feel like carrying a bag. You just want to throw on a pair of jeans, slip on your favorite t-shirt, and walk out the door. Well, no need to leave that Midori full-size behind. Just put it in your back pocket. Just put it in the pocket. Just get it in the pocket. Get in the pocket. Just get it in the pocket. Come on. See, just put it in the back pocket.
And that is why I decided to purchase this, the passport-size Midori Traveler's Notebook. Hello. Welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to discuss stuff and occasionally even things. I'm your good friend Bradley, and today I have a product review for you, and the product which I will be reviewing is obviously the passport-size Midori Traveler's Notebook. We're going to take a very close look at this notebook. We're going to talk about its features. We're going to talk about the different inserts, the different accessories that you can use. We will compare it to its full-size cousin, and we might talk a little bit about how I decided to set this up and the way I decided I wanted to use this notebook. But before we do all of that, let me show you what you get when you get it. Well, here we are with our unopened Midori Traveler's Notebook in the passport size. Now, many of you are going to be quite familiar with the way these are packaged, but for those of you who are not, I just thought I would show this very quickly because it is kind of part of the cachet of these notebooks. Part of the reason why people like them so much is sort of the aesthetic of how they're presented, the way they're packaged. So here we go. We've got Traveler's Notebook, passport size for all the travelers who have a free spirit. Traveler's Notebook has a leather cover which blah, 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 blah. Basically just some information about the Traveler's Notebook. Basically the same information in Japanese. So, plastic sleeve, pop that open, and we have another plastic sleeve wrapped around a piece of cardboard. Pop that off, and we've got this little insert here, information about the notebook. Then we have a piece of elastic, keeping this little cardboard box closed. And inside that, we have yet some more information. Care 2 leather items. Basically, it just talks about the process used in dyeing the leather, how to care for the leather, and how the natural oils in your hand, and the more you handle the notebook, the more you use the notebook, the more beautiful it will become, according to the good folks at Midori. And basically the same in Japanese on the back side, and then there's a spare elastic band in a different color for closing the cover of your book if you choose to go with the orange instead of the brown. And then this nice little cloth bag. It's just very well presented. And inside that, here is the Midori Traveler's Notebook in passport size. Now, many people have mentioned the white powdery residue and horrible chemical smell that they find on their Midori Traveler's Notebook when they first open it. When I reviewed the full size, I did not have that white powdery residue, did not have the horrible chemical smell, and now with the passport size, I don't see any white residue, and let me take a whiff. Nope, smells like nice quality leather. So I don't know, I'm 2 for 2 now, have not had the residue or the smell. Your mileage may vary, but from what I can see, it hasn't been an issue. And even if it is, by all accounts, the powdery residue rubs off, the smell goes away, and you're left with a nice leather cover that smells like leather. But here we go. Passport size, it comes with one insert, just the blank paper insert. This Midori paper is pretty nice, by the way, too. If you want to use fountain pens, it actually holds up pretty well for fountain pen use. So, that's about it. Pretty bare bones when you get it. It's just the cover, a blank insert, a spare elastic. But we will obviously be changing that soon when we set it up. Now, before we get into setting up the Midori passport size, let's take a look at how it compares in size to the full-size Midori. I don't know if we can even get them both in frame now, but you can see obviously much smaller than the full-size Midori Traveler's Notebook. Let's get out a ruler and just check real quick here. For the passport size, we have a width of just a little under 4 inches, maybe 3 7/8, by right around 6 1/4. The full size is just about a little over 8 1/2, maybe 8 9/16 by 4 1/2, 4 5/8. So a pretty sizable difference in size. As we saw when we did our box opening, the Midori only comes with one insert, and that is the blank paper insert. As you can see here, I have taken the liberty to purchase quite a few different inserts. I kind of have a problem with that. I buy things that I'm not necessarily going to use. But let's see here. We've got the clear zipper pocket that also has card slots on one side. I've got a ruled notebook. These are all Midori brand actually right now. I've got one of these MD paper notebooks. So this is the Midori paper. I'm not exactly sure what the difference is between that and the blank, just normal blank notebook. I've got another spare blank notebook. I've got a grid paper notebook, so that's graph paper basically. I've got some of the rubber bands here for the passport size. I am going to be using the Midori rubber bands to put my notebook together. And I also grabbed one of these craft folders in the passport size. So now I'm going to see, what do I want to do with this? I think I'm not going to have more than 2 inserts, but we'll see. We're going to play around with it a little bit. And most of these inserts are around $4 to $6. I'll put links in the description to Goulet pens, Baum-kuchen. You can also get some of these inserts off of Amazon.com. The prices are all fairly similar for the most part. The only thing that you'll really have a huge savings on is if you get the actual notebook on Amazon.com. It is basically half the price as other retailers. So I got this for $26 on Amazon, on Goulet pens, on Baum-kuchen, on Jet pens, places like that. They're usually around $50. So that is a significant savings. I like supporting places like Goulet pens, so I will buy the inserts and things there. But when I can save half off, I will go with Amazon, and I would suggest you do the same. $26 is a much more reasonable price, I think, for this notebook than $50. Now, for those of you who may have seen my review of the full-size Midori Traveler's Notebook, you will know that I didn't quite use the Midori method for putting inserts into my notebook. I don't mind using that the way they suggest with 2 inserts, but when you are going to put 3 in, I didn't really like it, so I did my own kind of modification. I modified, added more elastic to the notebook. I'm not going to do that to the passport size because I think I am just going to use 2 inserts, and I think I figured out exactly how I want to do it. I'm going to use one lined insert, the blank insert that's already inside, I think the zipper pocket, and this craft folder. And I think that's all I'm going to have in there for the time being. So let's see what that looks like when I get it all together. All right, so here's what I've come up with. Instead of putting these 2 inserts together with the rubber bands, as you normally would as per the Midori instructions when you're just using 2 inserts or 3 inserts, I'm using 3 inserts, but one of them is only a folder, so there's not really much bulk. But I've decided to connect the folder and the lined paper insert together this way. I'm going to shove these through the center elastic on the Midori, like so, and then I will take the blank notebook and put it through like that. Now the reason I did this is because I wanted to have 2 of the actual notebook inserts, and this folder, I wanted to have this folder in the back, and I didn't want to have to shove it under all the way and have one side in the front and one side in the back. I wanted it all here. And I like the idea of these 2 inserts being together, making one thicker notebook, one lined, one with the blank pages. If I had done it the way that Midori suggests, where I put this one on the rubber band, I would have to either put the folder in the middle, which I didn't want, or the folder one side here, one side here. So I decided to do it like this. I think this is going to work out. Then we're going to throw the zipper pocket through the entire shebang here. Ugh. Shove it through like that, get it in the little notches. And I do this because I don't want to have the bulk of the things that are in the pocket on the back of the notebook, because more often than not, I will probably be writing on this side. I also purchased one of these little guys. This is the Midori plastic sheet that are kind of hard to find in the passport size. Now, I actually found this on, I think it was Baum-kuchen initially, but they're sold out now. You can find them on Amazon for like $18, but please don't pay $18 for this thing. It's worth $5 or $6. That's what they should cost. That's what they did cost until people started buying them up and trying to sell them on eBay and stuff. If you can't get one of these, you can also make your own. This is one that I cut out of a larger plastic sheet that I got from nanamipaper.com. All these websites I mentioned, all these links, I'll put in the description box below. But this is similar to the one I made for my full-size Midori Traveler's Notebook, but I just happened to find this online, so I decided to grab it. This will stay in the craft folder here, so I can take that out when I need it, when I need to use it as a writing mat. And then I also got this little guy. It's a little piece of blotting paper, which came from this pack of blotting paper, which I purchased at nanamipaper.com. It's a great website. I highly suggest you use it. And I just cut it out to the perfect size to fit into my inserts because I like to use fountain pens a lot. So if you write down on a page, you shove in your blotting paper, you close your book, and you don't have to worry about smearing the ink everywhere. Now what I've also got is this. This is the remains of a Goulet pens bookmark that they send along when you order things from them. And then I have some paper clips and some of these little page markers. I'm going to throw this in the zipper pocket. What I'm also going to throw in the zipper pocket is an ink cartridge for my Kaweco Sport pen. I'm a little worried that this is going to leak. We shall see. I'm just going to have to be careful about sitting on it, I guess. And if it does start leaking, then I guess I'm going to have to think of a different way of carrying extra ink cartridges. But there you go. That's pretty much the setup I'm going to go with here. We have our craft folder. I can put other things in here, obviously, but its main primary purpose is to carry this plastic sheet for me. My writing mat. I'm going to have a blank notebook to jot down little doodles, things like that. And then this notebook is going to be for just jotting down anything. Lists, grocery lists, to-do lists, things that I wouldn't normally put in my full-size Midori because this is more for serious writing or for more important things, in my opinion. All these pages are perforated, and that's one thing I really love about the passport-size Midori inserts is that most of them come with perforated pages, so they can easily be ripped out. You can jot something down, a note for somebody, anything at all, you can rip it out, nice and clean, very easy. So I'm assuming I'm going to get a lot of use out of this lined paper insert, and I'm going to be ripping a lot of pages out and probably replacing them quite often, which is why I got extras. Got an extra line one and an extra blank one, including, I'm not sure about this MD paper. I'll have to check that out. And then also this graph paper, just in case I want to mix things up a little bit. But that's basically it. That's how I'm going to use this thing. I did not need to modify the elastic bands in any way. I think that the way this works now is going to be just fine for me because I don't want it to be insanely bulky. The whole point of this is the portability, and I think with this size, that could easily fit into my back pocket. But perhaps we should see if that is actually the case. Excellent. As you may already be able to tell, I have been using this notebook for a while. You can see by the surface of the leather, it's already getting a little shiny, a little scarred up. I've been using it in conjunction with this Kaweco Sport pen, and I've just been clipping it on to the cover like so. I'm not hugely happy with that because it is going to mark this up like crazy, and eventually I'm worried it's going to mash it down so much that I'm going to have trouble getting it on here. It is already kind of a little bit of a hassle. I was thinking of getting some sort of, I don't know, a piece of brass or a piece of metal or something and sandwiching it there and just creating a nicer surface to clip the pen onto and also protecting the leather. We'll see about that in the future. But I have been using this, and I've been using it in just the way that I thought I would. I take it with me a lot. I take it far more often than I do the full size. I still use the full size a lot, but it usually stays at home. I'm writing things at home, or when I have a satchel, a bag, a purse, and I can take it with me when I just have more room. But when I'm just on the go, on the run, I often take this with me. I've already ripped a bunch of pages off of this. that I've been using. I have a few other things just kind of jotted down in here, things that you guys probably don't need to see. I was doing a little bit of Japanese practice there, but haven't done anything in the blank notebook yet. I don't find that I need to, you know, jot down little doodles of this size. I do use the full-size blank notebook here, or the kind of sketch paper notebook in the Midori quite often when I'm drawing something. But this I haven't really used yet. I may actually replace this blank paper insert with the graph paper insert. That might be more useful for me, and I am doing my little Japanese flirting with trying to learn Japanese again, so actually maybe having a graph paper insert would be good for that, for drawing kanji, for drawing the hiragana syllabary and things like that. So we'll see. But for now, I've just been enjoying the utility of this. It's working for me quite nicely, and I really think I'm going to continue getting a lot of use out of it. So there you have it, the passport size Midori Traveler's Notebook. I've enjoyed using this very much ever since I purchased it. Obviously, you do give up a little bit in terms of usability when you go down to the passport size. It's not as large. You can't fit as much into the notebook. It's not as good for long writing sessions, and you're a little more limited in terms of the inserts that you're able to purchase for this, at least the Midori branded ones. But I think a lot of that usability is more than made up for in the portability. It's very convenient to take this with you. I still love the full-size Midori. I still use it a lot, but it tends to stay home more often than not unless I'm using my Merce, man bag, satchel, whatever you want to call it. But when I just want to grab something and go that I can jot some notes down into, the Midori passport size comes with me quite often. So, thank you so much for watching. I've been your good friend Bradley. You have been the audience. This has been Stuff and Things reviewing the Midori Traveler's Notebook in the passport size. I'll see you later.